Hello everyone, TurtleLags here, bringing you another AFK Journey video. We have chat here, we have 59 viewers, holy! Can we get a hello to YouTube from chat? Any hellos? Emojis, we got emojis, we can show off emojis, folks. We got emojis. Yeah, I do live stream every day for AFK Journey. Thank you, Skyblood, for the follow. Appreciate you. It is time to do, based on popular demand, a meta tier list for AFK Journey. And this will include all the characters, including Hypogens and Celestials. So get hyped for this. Thank you, Praminix, for the follow. Appreciate you. So basically the way I'm going to do this is that I'm going to rate all the characters based on their Mythic Plus and Supreme Plus. If there's something noteworthy for Supreme Plus, I will make a note. However, I am well aware that many people are struggling to even get to Mythic Plus. So for this reason, I will rate mainly on Mythic Plus. However, if there's something Supreme Plus, like Kolina, that just sends them to the stratosphere in terms of tiers, I will let you know, okay? And I'm going to rate this purely are mainly on three main endgame contents in this game. We will rate based on Dream Realm, AFK stages, and Arena. Okay, and actually Arena and AFK stages, a lot of times you use the same team. So it's really Dream Realm and AFK stages / Arena PvP. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with the no-brainers here. So Thorn, where are you? Thorn needs to be at the top. Okay. So Thorn is generally meta because he has the ability to revive himself. He leeches HP from the enemy to increase his survivability. He can create a bond at Mythic Plus with the person behind him in order to take 50% of the damage that the person behind him takes, and then when he dies, he takes HP from the person behind him. And also, when you get his EX weapon to level 5, the person behind him that he formed a pact with, it'll look like a green chain. Whenever that character does damage to the enemy, Thorn gains back a percentage of that in the form of HP. So he's very resilient. And when you reach AFK stage 700 in AFK stages, I almost wish that I had 2 Thorns because he's that amazing. Okay. Next, I do want to bring Rainier up here. Where's Rainier? Where is Rainier? Monka. Okay, let me just go based on what I see. So, Kolina, I also put generally meta. This is more understandable if you push high level in AFK stages and Arena. And the reason for that is because Kolina at Mythic Plus, she shreds 15% magic defense, as well as, with her ultimate, freezing an enemy for 6 seconds and doing splash damage to the enemy party. Her hero focus gives her crit. She's very powerful. She's a control mage that does really high damage. And when you pair her up with Rainier, who I'm still trying to find, Rainier, it gets absolutely bonkers because Rainier at Mythic Plus, he's able to cast his ultimate at the start of the match before anyone moves. Yeah, it'll group the entire enemy party together, and then when he goes up and does the 3-tile slash, Aaron, sorry, I meant Aaron, he will do a 40% magic defense shred on all those enemies caught in that attack, which allows mages like Kolina, like Ardan, like Parisa, like Cassidy, to do really high damage. Not only because of the magic defense shred, but also because they're hitting all the targets. And Aaron is kind of like Brutus's counterpart, because Brutus at 4 stacks applies a total of 40% physical defense shred, whereas Aron does a 40% magic defense shred. And in arena PvP in the upper echelons, especially in champions, you will see Aron, Carolina plus friends. Maybe it'll be a Thorn, maybe it'll be a Granny, maybe it'll be like a Hawin, or I don't know, like a Damian, or maybe an Ardan, or maybe a Rainier. But these two are pretty much eternal. They are the backbone to the success of an Aron team. Is there a counter to that team? A counter to that team is a more aggressive Aron team. Yeah, currently. I'll cook something better afterwards, but it's really hard to beat a team that does an 80% magic defense shred to you, groups you, and hits all your units. And Carolina, by the way, due to her frostbite, her ultimate not only freezes for 6 seconds and does splash damage to all those enemies, but all those enemies gain a stack of frostbite, up to 3 stacks. And each frostbite stack lowers the enemy's haste by 15. So you can reduce their haste by up to 45%, and haste is basically attack speed but for energy generation. Haste is how quick you can get your energy up to cast your ultimates. The more haste you have, the faster you cast your ultimate. The less haste you have, the slower you cast your ultimate. Which is why in arena PvP, to answer the viewer's question, the faster you can cast Carolina's ult, the more likely you will beat the opposing Aron team. There's actually counters now. I've started doing this where usually Aron teams will run the confining spell. It's the purple spell to lock down the enemies. But lately I have swapped over to the awakening spell, which increases your attack speed. But this is kind of a tech that counters a confining spell, because the confining spell will try to lock down 3 of the enemy targets, but the awakening spell makes your backmost unit immune to control, meaning they will only bind 2 of your characters, not 3. So for that reason, nowadays I've been switching to awakening spell. I still lost 1 match last night, but for the most part I do think it has improved. No one has dared attack me today. I did make a modification where I ran a Hawin and Ardan double. Thank you, Young, for the follow. Really appreciate you. Okay, let's continue onwards here. So I'm just going to go over noteworthies. And by the way, these characters are definitely worth adding to your epic wish list. These three characters, by the way, you cannot get orbs from with your arena points. Thank you, Insane Top, for the follow. Appreciate you. And so for this reason, you should add all 3 of these in your epic wish list right now if you don't have the Mythic Plus. These 3 will break the game. Yeah. If you are stuck, they will unstuck you for reals. Okay, so now moving on to Odie. So Odie is the GOAT, the secret S rank. He's one of our top A rank characters in this game, who everyone can agree is one of the best DPS for any Dream Realm, and can even be good in AFK stages if you need a solid DPS. Yeah, Odie the Goatie, exactly, Dremel. So, with Odie, what makes him so powerful is that he not only has a high damage ceiling, but his damage is not affected as much by crowd control enemies, notably the Necro Dragon. Because if you recall, the Necro Dragon reduces your haste, which, as I mentioned with Carolina, is responsible for slowing down your energy generation. Yeah, and yes, that is Carolina here. And Odie, what makes him unique is that the bulk of his kit is actually from his normal attacks, not from his ultimate. I think his ultimate gives him a head start in applying poison stacks, but you can apply poison stacks with your normal attacks, and you can apply up to 20 poison stacks on the enemy target. And poison stacks do more damage the chonkier the enemy is, which is why he's so good against the Dream Realm, so good against the Lone Wolf, the Primal Lords. Yeah. I think the only thing that could make him better is if he jumped around a lot, jumped around a lot like Merrily. But nevertheless, when he gets silenced and you're unable to heal or cast spells, doesn't affect Odie because Odie relies on his normal attacks for damage output. So very good. Koko, I also need to put her to generally meta because Koko, if you are serious about accumulating really high points in the Dream Realm, we're talking like endless mode, 20 plus mil to collect all the resources in the Dream Realm, you need a Koko. You need a Supreme Plus Koko because, even before Mythic Plus, she is already good in a lot of teams because her ultimate grants her her team a 45% damage reduction, which is huge. You love to see it. That's very important. So it helps with the survivability because if you're reducing damage taken by 45%, chances are you'll survive at least the first wave of attacks from the Dream Realm boss that would normally KO your party. And that extra 10-15 seconds of more damage output can be the difference from being like, I don't know, 20th place to 10th place, as an example in the arena rankings. So for that reason, as well as being able to push AFK stages where the enemy is like 3-shotting your crew or maybe 2-shotting your crew, if you can get a way to get her ultimate up faster. And by the way, Koko, her hero focus increases her haste, which allows her to cast her ultimate faster. So if you paired her up with an energy battery like Rowan or, I don't know, Ardan, then that can help with allowing Koko to get her ultimate up faster so that you can get the 45% damage reduction faster and thus survive longer. Not to mention she heals the weakest ally, which is very helpful. And not only that, she also at Mythic Plus applies a shield, and at Supreme Plus applies a chunkier shield. So very solid unit. She was the second A rank unit who I put on my epic wish list, so highly recommend that you get Koko as soon as possible. Okay, who else? Rainier. Okay, so let me explain Rainier because a lot of free-to-plays and low spenders, they rely on Kruger, who I'll talk about later, to achieve high scores on the Dream Realm as well as the Wolf. However, the beauty of Rainier is that he can actually achieve the same effect, but being a universal support. What do I mean by this? Well, when you get Rainier to Mythic Plus, what happens is that he unlocks the ability for dynamic balance to increase your DPS. Okay, so when you're fighting the Dream Realm and you have a Mythic Plus Rainier, the way to optimize his support role is to dimension shift your Odie or your primary DPS like your Cesia or even your Thorin with the Dream Realm boss. And what that happens when you have a Mythic Plus Rainier, two things happen. One thing is that your Odie gets a 12% attack buff, and the Dream Realm boss gets a 12% attack debuff. And on top of that, the enemy target that's selected also takes 25% increased damage until the end of the round. So until the end, the end of the round. So basically it's kind of like Kruger, but you can use it for a magic damage dealer like Odie as well. So Rainier is the GOAT. Plus you can do neat tricks where you can, let's say you're stuck on an AFK boss or AFK stage, or maybe you're trying to beat an overworld enemy. Yeah, Rainier's viable at Epic, but Real Kid excels at more copies you get. Exactly, Rust, exactly, yeah. He gets really good. He's good even if you have one copy of him, because you can use him to swap the position of one of your characters with one of their characters. So one of my favorite targets for Rainier is like Temesia, where Temesia, she runs around all over the place. If you actually transport her far away, she'll start off far away and then she'll run towards you and get healed, you know? So for Vala teams, I do like running Rainier with that team. Yeah, plus it helps with survivability because the enemy you swap with gets 12% reduced attack. Yeah, so Rainier is really good. And by the way, some of you guys may be saying, oh, isn't that bad because you transport one of your characters to the enemy side? Well, by attacking the enemy unit that got dynamic balance to your side, by attacking that unit, that's how you heal your unit that's on the other side of the field. Yeah, you can also warp for the enemy healer. Yeah, exactly. So these guys are right. Zackley and Rasta, you're right. You like for me personally, I swap with their mage to defeat their damage dealer, but you can also swap with their healer to take out the healer. I've done that before. So Rainier's the GOAT. Plus, he's able to blink with his ultimate. He's able to blink an enemy off the map for 10 seconds. So when you blink off the healer, it's really nice. Yeah, or if you blink off their mage, it's really nice. It's just he's a really nice support. And for this reason, I would say for most of you who are asking which Hypogean or celestial character I should pull first, it should be Rainier. Yeah, I used to be on the fence about Scarlita, but now I know it's Rainier. I have him Supreme Plus now, and he is the GOAT. Just absolutely insane. Okay, so those I think are the universals. I'll do the 0 to hero next, but if they are worthy of generally meta, then I'll put them up higher. But these 6 right here are the GOATs. Okay, now for the 0 to hero, I would say Hawin is one of the top. The reason why I like Hawin so much is because she's the only healer who at Mythic Plus is able to be crowd control immune. The enemy can't silence her, and she applies a 30% damage mitigation for your entire party for 12 seconds. I think it's 12 seconds. Or 10 seconds, maybe 10 seconds at Mythic Plus. That's level 1 EX weapon. If you have a level 2 level 5 EX weapon, then it would be not live yesterday. I was live yesterday. I just went to bed early, Teddy. Yeah, Hawin, yeah, just really solid burst healer. She's also the healer that has the widest healing radius of all the healers. Sometimes you'll run your Smokey and your tank runs off the healing smoke, or maybe your Rowan is so busy running around giving energy that he forgets to heal some of your units. But Hawin, when you cast her ultimate and do the prayer rain, she's CC immune, she applies 30% damage mitigation, and also she heals the entire map. Could you give me an idea of what EX weapons I should focus on first? Absolutely, Panda. Yeah, I actually filmed a video on that, but I would say generally speaking, you want to get the EX weapons for all the characters that you have on your main team. Like all the characters who I'm talking about right now, you should get their EX weapon to level 1 and then get the most relevant ones to EX level 5. I can't think of many EX weapons that are actually bad until you reach like level 10 and higher. Yeah. She also gives haste, but I could have read it wrong. Oh yeah, for Hawin, Damian gives haste. Damian gives haste, not Hawin. Yeah, if memory serves me right. I know Damian gives haste. If Hawin gives, can someone confirm that as I continue? Hawin gives haste at Supreme. Holy, okay, that's amazing. Yeah, actually for my Aaron comp right now, I'm running a Thorin, Hawin, Damian, Aaron, and Carolina, and so far, no one has dared attack me this morning. No one has farmed me this morning because they're like, holy, I'm not facing that. Yeah. Okay, so now we talked about Hawin, sent a photo. Okay, got it exactly. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, thank you. All right, cool. All right, so moving onwards, so Hawin, that's why I like Hawin so much. Let's talk about Cesia. Yeah, we have to talk about Cesia. So Cesia is also very high ranked, 0 to hero, because she's basically 2 units in one. And what's amazing about her is that her summon, Mr. Carlisle, copies her stats and deals a ton of damage. And she's actually probably the best unit, the most universal unit in terms of single target and multi-target DPS. Because you could literally have Cecia attacking the front row and Mr. Carlisle attacking the like destroying the back row. Because Mr. Carlisle has a mind of his own. He will march over to the back row and start slaughtering enemies. It's really funny. And Cecia, if Mr. Carlisle dies, she can resummon Mr. Carlisle. And so in a way you can, if so long as Cecia stays alive, and she's a ranged unit, so she can stay alive if your tank and healer stay alive. She can basically be multiple units in one. Yeah, very solid unit, physical unit as well. So she pairs up very well with Kruger, who I'm actually going to bring to 0 to hero. Not because he's great for like arena PvP, because you wouldn't bring him there, but just because he is actually very instrumental in applying his 40% physical defense shred in order for Cecia to clean house, or for Cecia to and the rest of your physical units to do high damage, like Thorin to do high damage against the Dream Realm bosses. So a lot of people like Kruger for that. Let me talk about, can you run both Rainier and Kruger on the same squad? Double defense shred? No, because Kruger does physical defense shred and Rainier does magic defense shred. Well, I guess technically you could. Actually, I stand corrected. You could, if you had like a magic damage dealer like Odie and a physical damage dealer like Cecia. You could, and then with one healer. But then who's your tank, right? You can show that photo for Hawin. Okay. Okay, yeah. I'll just read it to you guys. So, at Supreme Plus, Hawin also grants the healed ally 30 haste for 6 seconds when Revitalize is in effect. And Revitalize is... sorry, there's so many characters, I don't have every little bit memorized. Oh, Revitalize is when... Oh, that's right. When a character dips below 50% HP, she grants them a healing bonus of 120% her attack. Yeah, so when the enemy has... When your party dips below 50% and she heals them and grants them Revitalize, the Revitalized unit also gains 30 haste for 6 seconds, which is very good. Very good. That's great. So with her and Damian, it's like a haste, an energy battery, essentially. So I don't know if that's haste to all allies. It's for that ally that was in the red and she revitalized them, meaning that she healed them and she also gave them a healing bonus for subsequent for the heals. Okay, so and then let me talk about Ardan. So Ardan, he's really good because first of all, he works very well in an Aon team. You can run Thorin, Hawin, Aon, Kolina, and Ardan and clean house. That's what I did for most of the AFK stages until I optimized it a little further. And the reason for this is because Ardan at Mythic Plus, he entangles vines on all 5 units. Before then, he entangles 2 of them. What entangled vines does is it makes them unable to act or move for 2 seconds. And actually, if you bring his EX weapon to level 10, you can increase that to 3.5 seconds or 2.5 seconds. It's a long time, relatively speaking. So, and with him being a wilder unit and also him doing he's an excellent AoE damage dealer. For this reason, he goes perfect with an Aron team, because you would typically go Aron, Hawin, Ardan, boom, you already have your minimum faction bonus covered. Then you add Carolina in for that extra oomph. Yeah, and so with Ardan and Carolina combined, once you group the enemies, they generally stay grouped. Okay, so that's Ardan. Anyone? Damian, I would say, is up here. So this one, I think Damian is kind of a sleeper healer, for a good reason, because his kit is really complicated. And he himself is not on the field, his chariot's on the field. But that part of that, so the chariot is actually part of what makes him so broken. In the same way that Cesia summoning a copy of herself in the form of Mr. Carlisle makes her so broken, because you literally have a healer where you kill the chariot's taking damage, you know, the chariot copies Damian's stats, and Damian is actually quite tanky for a healer. If they kill the chariot and he casts his ultimate again, you get the chariot back and continue healing. It's really nice. But it's not just that, he also blinds the enemy, making it so that the enemy normal attacks don't hit you for X amount of seconds. And he can blind multiple targets, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check.
You desire an audience. And what do you offer?
Damian. Probably going to need to make timestamps for this video. It's going to get long, I can tell. Where is Damian? And it sucks that I don't have all the kit memorized. I have most of it memorized. Yeah, inherits 85% of his HP and 100% of his other stats. Blinds surrounding enemies for 3 seconds within one tile. That's his ultimate. Okay, and then he also has emergency support, where he will heal the weakest ally. And if there's no toy chariot, he will restore 300 energy for himself so that he can summon his chariot faster to do more heals. He can throw a paper plane at someone to stun them for 3 seconds. He can increase his attack with the hero focus. Oh, at Mythic Plus, when a character is healed with emergency support, which is the weakest ally that I said, for the first time, the inspired allies within 2 tiles gain haste by 40 for 10 seconds. So here's another healer besides Hawin who is able to grant haste to your party members in order for them to cast the ultimates faster. And so this is why I now run really greedy Aron Carolina teams that have both a Supreme plus Hawin and a Supreme plus Damian, because both of them can be greedy and provide haste to my Carolina or my Aron or my Thorin to have them cast their ultimates faster. So it's very nice. Plus at Supreme Plus, the blind duration doubles from 3 seconds to 7 seconds. It more than doubles. So imagine your tank dodging all these normal attacks because of his ultimate, right? It's kind of insane. So that's why Damian's broken. Is there anyone else who's worthy to be up here? Let me see. I think those are the standouts for me. We can go ahead and put these to the Walker tier. I don't think you're gonna run them. Yeah, I don't even know who these guys are. Okay. So now we can put the decent tier. So let me go through this. Oh, actually, okay, so let's talk about our Celestial Scarlita. So Scarlita, I finally pulled a copy of her, but I did playtest her while trying to help a guild member who was stuck on the one of his stages, and I cleared his stage because I scrolled all the way down and saw that he had pulled a copy of Scarlita, and then I ran Scarlita and dominated that stage. So what is Scarlita? Scarlita is a Celestial that is able to stay invincible at the start of the match for 6 seconds, and what she does is she crowd controls by stunning the enemies, but she also heals the weakest ally, applying a shield to them. Actually, I'm not sure about the heal, but she does apply a shield to the weakest ally, which was absolutely crucial for him to, for the person I was helping to survive long enough to take out like 2 enemies. Yeah, and then once Scarlita comes to the ground, then she is essentially a warrior after that. So a very solid unit. I do like her a lot for her kit. I have actually faced off against her in the arena PvP and lost. No, Rowan? Thank you. That's why we need chat. Thank you. Yes, Rowan is definitely up here as well. Let's go ahead and add... Oh, Smokey as well. Holy. Smokey and Rowan, let's go ahead and add them. Let's see. Where's Rowan? Rowan. Yeah, guys, help me out. If I'm missing someone that's blatantly obvious, let me know. Okay, so Smokey and Rowan are also 0 to hero healers. You can think of Smokey as an offensive healer who at Mythic Plus is able to actually be a damage dealer himself. And actually because of his Mythic Plus, his EX weapon, he is often the de facto healer to add on any Dream Realm run. Screen is cut off. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Okay. Let me move. I'm in the corner, guys. Monka. Yeah. Okay, so Smokey is up here because he's an offensive healer who can deal damage with his EX weapon. And his heals are decent. His heals are probably my least favorite because when the tank runs off, or if you're running a Cesia and she runs off, or if you're running a Merrily and she runs off the map, or not off the map, out of his fog, they need to be in his yellow fog in order to get healed and get the attack boost. Thank you so much for the follow, Pony. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, so for this reason, I run him mainly for Dream Realm. Yeah, mainly for Dream Realm. Rowan's the only healer that I use. Oh, okay, Joseph. Rowan is really good at Mythic Plus and higher because before then his heals are really small and it's more emergency heals. He won't heal, to my knowledge, unless your characters dip below 50%. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's how it goes. However, when you get him Mythic Plus, he gets a super potion, which he can only use once. And when he uses the super potion, then it gives the ally additional HP healed, as well as a permanent 30% physical and magic defense buff. However, if you have him at Supreme Plus, is either at Supreme Plus or EX Weapon 10. I forget which. Let me check that real quick. Okay, so for every one fight in battle, when Broddock replenishes the health potion, it turns into a super health potion. Okay, so that's EX Weapon 10. And what's Supreme Plus? Places one more health potion in the battle at the start with Smart Stall. Yeah, so at Supreme Plus, he has more healing chances. That's right. When he runs around, you'll see 2 red potions in his cart, and when he heals, the potion will disappear from the cart. So you can pay attention to the cart to see how many heals he can do. When you have him Supreme Plus, he has an extra bottle in his cart. And actually, when you have his EX Weapon 10, then you can start doing super potions. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. The super potion is when you have EX Weapon level 10. Yeah. Okay. So now, is there anyone else, chat? Anyone else you think should be in the 0 to hero tier before we move on to decent? So, like, we're looking at Entendre, Anatolia, Burial, Brutus. Oh yeah, of course. See, that's why I need you guys. Brutus. Okay, so Brutus is probably off the map. Okay, so Brutus. So why is Brutus up? What about Igor? Oh yeah, Igor too. Igor, true. Let me see what happens if I shrink this. Oh, Monka. Okay, never mind. Undo. Oh no, I ruined this. Okay, well you can see Igor's dagger there. And Merrily? True, there's Merrily as well. Okay, can you guys hear me? I'm in the corner of my table now. And Merrily. Okay, no more units, guys. I think this is good enough up here. Yes, okay, good. So, and let me just bring chat a little bit higher. Oh yeah, I think chat should overlap that. Okay, so chat has suggested that Brutus, Igor, and Merrily are also on this tier. So why is that? Well, the reason is because with Brutus, he is a... Actually, can you guys help me out with Brutus? Because I don't really play Brutus. I just know a lot of free-to-plays play him. And Corin would be last? Okay. Yeah, can you guys help me out with Brutus? Because I really don't know. I know Vulcan loves him. Let's see. How about Shakir buffer? Brutus gets invincibility, worth to survive 5 seconds. Mythic plus Brutus I know is a G, seen it. Okay, okay. So those are the reasons why Brutus is up here. Mostly use Brutus to buy time. Okay. Which can cause your team to survive an extra 5 seconds or 6 at Supreme Plus. Dang, that's less than A. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Thank you guys for that. If I find Brutus gives you just enough time to tank and get everyone special. Okay, so those are the reasons why Brutus is 0 to hero. I'm going off of chat because I don't play Brutus. but Vulcan loves Brutus, and for that I think that's the reason why a lot of people play him. So he's very good. In my opinion, Brutus can be the best damage absorber in the game. Okay. Once Brutus tanks and Entendre gets ability up with Odie and Star Shard, you can decimate an AFK arena state. Oh yeah, actually Entendre should be here too. People say he falls off in the late game. Yeah, not a single person plays Brutus in the late game. Or in arena PvP. I don't know about. Maybe he's still relevant in AFK stages, but would you guys agree that Entendre should also be 0 to hero? Because she's like pretty much everything you want in a tank. A lot of people use Entendre. It's the hot tank lady. I just got him for 60. Can't say much. She helped me out so much. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So thank you guys. He shines in the late game. I'm at 1100 right now, and Brutus is core at my main second team. Okay. How do I get my chat box to be above everyone else or everything else? Let me see. For some reason my chat, okay, let me do that. Okay, I don't want to block you guys, so, okay, that seems good. Okay, and, you guys can't see Merrily, huh? We have so many units. Okay. So, Brutus, and then Igor. So I can speak on Igor. The reason why he's so good is not because you bring him as a main character on main. Try shrinking once again. Okay. Oh, you guys are geniuses. Okay. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So now we can add Entendre here. Okay, so the reason why Igor is so good is because he has multiple lives in Corin. Okay, in Corin. Okay, so these are A-tier units. Okay, so the reason why Igor is so good is because he has multiple lives, he does a decent damage, he can take pressure off your tank, he jumps around all over the place, which is great in scenarios where there's walls because he can just jump over the walls. And I think he's kind of like the X factor that if you're stuck on an AFK stage, he can kind of help out. Plus, a lot of the great units like Thorin and Cesia and Carolina are Graveborn, so having Igor there to maintain the Graveborn faction bonus is really helpful. The reason why Marilee is up here is because Marilee, she does really high physical damage. So for those of you who are running Kruger, you can Marilee does benefit from Kruger. And Marilee is especially good on that one stage, the Necro Dragon stage, where you can hop around the map, because she can hop out of the swamp. That if you stay in the swamp, it will deal damage to you, cause a bunch of debuffs on you, such as decreased energy, decreased attack, decreased defenses, that sort of thing. That's why Marilee's so good. I'm building her right now. Now on Tundra, this lady right here, the reason why she's really good is because she does everything that you want in a tank. She basically picks an ally and takes and gives that ally a huge defensive bonus, which helps with their survivability, and that can also go to the next ally if that's defeated. Croaker as well, since the frog spits. Oh yeah, thank you. Yes, as well as the frogs. So being able to dodge those mechanics from the Dream Realm also makes Marilee really good. And on Tundra, she is a very tanky unit. I think, let me look at her kit. Is there anything you would add for Entendre, folks? Entendre, I think a lot of you guys play her, so maybe you have an opinion on her. She can set up her shields and taunt enemies within 2 tiles. That's useful. She guards the frontmost ally at the start of battle. She deals damage. Her hero focus increases her HP. Mommy material. That's really important, guys. Hey Ghoul, welcome to the stream. We're doing a tier list guide. You're on YouTube. Yeah. And we're trying to make this as clean as possible. Each enemy hit by shield assault increases Entendra's physical defense by 10% up to 6 stacks at Supreme Plus. So she can be really tanky. Really tanky. Carolina greater than Cesia Monkas. I know, right? It's hard to believe until you get shredded in Arena. And also, if you're trying to push AFK stages, Carolina is a beast. She also got fixed too. What do you think about Vala? Oh yeah, thank you guys. Do you think Vala is worthy to be with the rest of these guys? Yes or no? I think yes with the right setup, but I don't know. She kind of falls off in the Dream Realm a little bit because she can't pick KOs. She's generally nuts in my opinion for PvP. Decent because she's good out of the gate. Okay. Vala needs Mythic Plus to be amazing, but she's overall amazing. Yes, if she's Mythic Plus for sure. Okay. So I think we can all agree that she is. I would agree with this statement as well. So let's go ahead and put Vala up here. So Vala is really good. Vala. Okay. So the reason, actually let's talk about, what's his name? Kruger? Or not Kruger, darn it, what's his name? I'm blanking out right now. Corin. Yeah, thank you guys, Corin. Yeah, so the reason why Corin is up here is because Corin, he jumps around, applies shields to your allies, deals true damage, and high true damage as well. Anything else you would add about Corin? I started running Corin, which allowed me to hit a new record in the Dream Realm the other day, but to be honest, I haven't looked at his kit entirely. I just know about the true damage and the shields. That's what everyone tells me. And he jumps around. Anything else that's good about him? that you know. Needs Mythic plus 2 like Merrily to shine, but he's great after that. Okay. Thank you, Twister. Anyone else can chime in about why he's really good? It's percentage of max HP of the target true damage. Ooh, okay, I did not know that. That's why he shines against bosses. Okay. Good. True damage and very tanky, helps in Lightbearer Tower as well for a tank. Ooh, good to know. See, that's why we need chat to help us out. Okay. So yeah, I think for those reasons, Corin is very worth to be in 0 to hero. Now, Vaa. Why is Vaa in 0 to hero? From my experience, Vaa is great because she, with the right setup, is able to snipe the back row and take them out quickly. Basically what she does is she's in sniper mode until they go to low HP, then she'll teleport over there and defeat them. And the melee damage is really high. I think the melee damage, she'll enter that when they dip below 50 or 40% or 30%. I forget what number. Maybe you guys in the chat can help me out with that. But you do need her at Mythic Plus, because the whole point of sniping out the back row is that she enters invisibility mode, where her movement speed increases by like 80% or something like that, and her attack speed increases by like 80% or something. Let me check.
Mystery is the most beautiful thing a girl could wear.
Oh, and her ultimate stuns the enemy for 4 seconds. I forgot about that. Okay, it's when she casts her ultimate. She stuns them and then enters melee mode. Switches to sword mode, where she rushes to slash the target, dealing true damage. She sends a notice on the enemy when the battle starts. It looks like a purple cloud. And when she attacks the noticed enemy, she absorbs 90 energy for each hit. So it makes the back row not be able to cast their ultimate, which is really good. Vaa is good when playing manually. Often you can choose the next target. Ooh, okay. Good point, Roro Stream. Good point. Yeah, so for those of you who are sweaty and like to play this manual, like a stick shift, then this Vaa is for you. Yeah, and then what else in her kit? Her hero focuses attack. Oh, okay, yeah. So when she enters with her Mythic Plus ability, her EX weapon, when she enters invisibility mode, she enters invisibility mode after defeating the marked target, and she gains movement speed 60% and haste 80 for 10 seconds. That's a lot of haste. To put it into perspective, Hawin and Damian give 40% or 50% haste, and 80 haste is a lot. Haste is what gets your ultimate up. Yes. And then at Supreme Plus, her damage to the marked target increases by 10%. Yeah, so she's meant to be a damage dealer. I haven't yet tested her invisibility with Igor, but if it works, that's probably great. Okay. Got it. Alright. So anyone else I'm missing, guys? Anyone else missing from this list who you feel is worth putting here? I think we could probably move on to decent. What is the best mage for now, guys? The best mage right now, number 1 is Carolina. Number 2 is Ardan. Number 3 is probably Cassidy or Viperian. I'm not sure. Yeah, Viperian is good for Dream Realm. Diano? Oh, true. Okay, let's talk about Diano and Shakir EX10 buff all team. Ooh. Okay, let me put Shakir up. Yeah, that's right, and Viperian. Okay. And I know why they're all up here. So the reason why Diano is up here is because he is a multi-target marksman who's able to do true damage And I think he's invincible for the first 6 seconds or something like that. So he can make for a very good DPS. Is there anything else you would say about Diano? I mean, Diano, and he's hot. Oh yeah, and he's hot too. Yeah, that extra bonus points for being hot. Yeah, and he's actually really relevant in the main story once you get past the Medusa Mountain. Yeah, so that's why he's up here. You have to see his damage to really appreciate how broken he is. Plus, he's a Celestial, so he'll fit in a lot of factions. Shakir, the reason why he's really good is because he has the ability to enter Wolf mode to do more damage and to leech the enemy's HP. So if you combine him with a good healer, he can stay on the field for quite a while. He is AoE and single target though. Okay, got it. Yeah, we're talking about Diano still for that. So Shakir, can you guys chime in on why Shakir is up here? I kind of know his kit, but I haven't personally played him besides in the tower and facing him. You know, he's really annoying as an NPC. Yeah, you've probably seen a glowing wolf slaughter your team. That's Shakir. Yeah, Shakir is like DPS. Apparently he's really good in the current lone wolf boss. Shakir, in my opinion, is decent. He's really good versus some bosses, but he doesn't go 0 to hero immediately. True. He and the Panther are mofos. Okay. Yeah, I think we're... Okay, and then let's talk about Viperian. So Viperian, the reason he's good is because he has some self-sustain, and he also deals a lot of damage in the Dream Realm bosses. I think his damage output, correct me if I'm wrong, scales off of the max HP of the boss. Is that right? Or why is he so good in the Dream Realm?
Food is coming. Come
Well, he gives himself haste to cast his ultimate faster. He possesses enemies, dealing damage to them. He has self-sustain and versus... Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Oh, for the sub. Oh my god. Thank you so much. Appreciate you for the sub. That is awesome. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate you, Chinchu. And damage reduction, power increase, but not sure on the power increase. Okay, so let me read his comment one more time. So Carl is saying that Viperian, he has self-sustain, and versus like the Snow Yeti, he doesn't need to cast ultimate again if it will stay up. And damage reduction, power increase, not sure on the power increase. Yeah. So Lucky Lux told me that Viperian's really good against the boss because the boss is chonky. Oh, not Viperian. Not Viperian, it was Shakir. Oh, my bad. So I'm sorry. So Shakir is decent. He's really good versus some bosses, but he doesn't go 0 to hero immediately. He has self-sustain. Versus the Snow Yeti, he doesn't need to cast the ultimate again. It will stay up. Ah, okay, got it. Yeah, that's important. You only need to ult with Shakir once to stay in the wolf mode. Viperian just does a lot of damage, has self-sustain. In my opinion, Viperian's under decent. Yeah, I would agree. Okay, so let's move him to decent. Okay. And then for the decent, let's see. So I would say Lucius is decent because he's a really chonky tank if you have him invested, and he applies emergency shields to himself and his party members, if I'm not mistaken. Viperian has life drain by using tickets or whatever those items, and never used him. Okay. So he has life drain, haste, and something else. I'm trying to remember. Okay. Have you considered breaking up these tiers, adding more like half the cast and 0 to hero reduces value context? That's actually a really good idea. Let's add another row here. So how do we add an extra column? . add a row above. Okay. So we'll say this is like, universal. And then generally meta. Okay, so for generally meta, we'll put these guys here. Is this okay, guys? I heard with Shakir you can teleport Odie next to him and he will get the buff too. Oh, okay. Thank you, Steph Curry. Guys, I bought Walker by using tickets or whatever those and never used him. Oh no. Maybe because it's based on the amount of investment to shine. Yeah, we're assuming Mythic Plus here, guys. Okay, so I think this is looking pretty good so far. I mean, Damian and Ardan are part of the God comp with Kolina, Aon, Thorin. True. Yeah. You have to reach under endgame to understand why these are meta. Yeah. True. Okay, I would say this is looking pretty good. So we can talk about Granny. So Granny is good because if you have her well invested, she's able to do a little bit of crowd control with her stuns. She has self-sustain, and when she dips low, she has at Mythic Plus, she has the ability to increase her physical and mental defense by 50% for I think 10 seconds or 12 seconds, but it's only a one-time usage. I mean, Granny is not the greatest, but what is nice about her is that she's a wilder, which can be very helpful if you need a tank on side 2 for the wilder team and keep Thorin on side 1 when you're pushing AFK stages 700 or higher. Does anyone think that Parisa could be decent in the decent tier? What do you guys think? And by the way, the voice actress for Parisa raided our stream 3 nights ago. You can check out the video on my YouTube. Anyone else? Oh, actually, oh my god. Yeah, Tamesia and SVina should be up here too. Only in the Wilder Tower she's nice. Yeah, here to 0. I'm gonna put Granny in here to 0. Tamesia. Okay, so the reason why Tamesia is good is because she is excellent with Vala. And I have lost to some teams in the higher echelons of the tower or the arena PvP where I lost to a Tamesia, Rowan, Vala comp. And then they'll sprinkle in with like 2 other characters. So the reason why Tamesia is so good is because she's an excellent off tank, someone who can absorb damage with moderate investment. She's able to gain HP back. No, actually, at Supreme Plus, she gets HP back for every up to 6 stacks whenever she hits someone. Actually, I'm getting the abilities mixed up now. Hold up. Okay, after she casts her ultimate twice, she becomes unaffected. Her charge damage deals true damage. To be honest, with the newest whale strategies, Cassidy is number 1 for the Dream Realm against some bosses, and she's very good in Light Bearer Tower, so not sure what to do with her. Yeah, Cassidy's in an interesting spot. I agree, at Parisa Mythic Plus, she's good for AoE DPS, but needs proper team. Yeah, okay, so we can start moving like Cassidy up here. We can move Parisa up here. Yeah, I'll talk about them in a moment. They're decent. Yeah, Tamesia, she's the horseman that runs around back and forth, and can be kind of tricky to heal sometimes, but she can heal herself, which is good. And she knocks down the enemies. Whenever she changes direction, she restores the 180 energy. Knocks enemies down. Tamesia is very good in my opinion, I agree. She stuns the enemy. She can interrupt enemies and reduces the enemy's damage dealt. Ooh, reduces the enemy's damage dealt by 15% for 5 seconds. Is that true? So that makes it so the enemy doesn't do as much damage to you? That's what Iron Heal does. Okay, she does multi-target damage. And yeah, dealing true damage. And reduces the enemy's physical defense by 1% when hit by the Knight's Heart up to 6 stacks. So that can have additional synergy with Vaa. It's not a great Supreme Plus ability, but it's alright. Parisa does ridiculous amounts of damage even without Mythic Plus. She's nuts for AoE damage. Cass also seems great, but I feel like she's a Mythic Plus only character. Got it. Okay, and then for okay, I guess since we're talking about them, let's move them here. So I've played Cassidy before. What about Brian, guys? Yeah, I'm curious about Brian too. So the reason why Cassidy is good is because she's a light bearer mage that she summons a tidal wave which knocks everyone back 2 tiles, anyone who's caught in the wave, and whichever allies are caught in the wave, they get additional buffs. I'm trying to remember, let me check.
Have you ever wondered why some things can float in the air? My 30-second
Oh yeah. So with her Mythic Plus, when Running Tide, which is her ultimate, flows through your units, all allied heroes gain a temporary buff empowering their next 6 normal attacks with the effect of Tidal Strength. Now Tidal Strength is the blessing that she gives to one of your units, the ally closest to her at the start of battle. Yeah, at the start of battle, she'll bless the nearest unit. They'll have kind of a swirl icon, a blue swirl icon, water icon around them, kind of like a hula hoop. And basically whenever that blessed unit, blessed ally hits the enemy, they will do additional damage. Like water will come out of their feet, the enemy's feet, and it'll do additional damage. So with her Mythic Plus, when she casts her ultimate, everyone gets that buff. So after her Running Tide, like if you've ever faced against Cassidy, you'll know Cassidy does the Running Tide, and then for some reason your team is dead. And the reason for that is because she applied the blessing to all 5 units, not just, her unit, her blessed ally. And she's a mage, and she also stuns. With her Undercurrent, she summons a water column from under the enemy and stuns them for 1.5 seconds. So she's really good. I think my only issue with her is that her range is just 3 tiles, so sometimes she dies. That's the only problem. So positioning with Cassidy is really important. You might want to position her like in the furthest tile away. Yeah, and have her like right behind the tank and the healer. That way if she gets hit, then she'll get healed better. Brian is 0 to hero. He's mostly Entendra's best tank. Okay. Granny is number 2 tank after Thorin, sometimes better than Thorin with the CC and healing. Doesn't feel right putting her so far down. Okay, guys. And so, I kind of feel like Cesia needs to be up. Oh my god. To be honest, I do see Cesia more than Shakir, so I'm going to move Shakir down because I don't know anyone who plays Shakir besides chat. And then Cesia, a lot of people use Lucius more than Viperion even. Granny is like in the high. Okay, that seems pretty good. Okay, thank you for the follow, Cake. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Okay, is this looking alright, folks? So far? The reason why Parisa is up here is kind of like what some people have said. Now, her kit is very vanilla. It's all about marking people with flowers and dealing more damage. More and more damage the more flowers there are. Looks great? Okay. And the reason why this lady here, SVina, is here Now she needs high investment. She needs EX weapon 15 to really shine, because at EX weapon 15 EX weapon 5 she gets a 500% shield, and at 15 she gets a 600% shield. My best dream team is always with Viperian over Rainier at the moment. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Why is Viperian not good? I don't like him because he dies. Yeah. I just stopped running him because he dies. Because his kit revolves around bringing his HP below a certain amount. Yeah, I don't know. Now, don't get me wrong. I've cleared content with him when I had no other choice. Like when I'm helping a guildmate use Viperian, and he has a built Viperian, I run Viperian and I clear content, but I personally don't run him. Viperian needs a good healer, yeah. Rainier needs EX weapon 10 to really shine, true. Okay, true, he's a bit squishy, yeah. Yeah, I don't know anyone who thinks, well, in my guild anyways, who thinks that he's amazing. Yeah. But I know like everyone has different experiences, and Viperian, the way Lucky Lux told me was Viperian is a good substitute for Odie. That's the way he worded it. Yeah, so, yeah, but from my experience, he dies quick on the Dream Realm. Are guilds cross-server now? No. Only friends are cross-server. Viperian lacks CC and provides similar damage to Cesia without providing the CC option. See, that's the thing. I do think he has CC immunity. Or was that the other guy? It was the other guy, probably. Yeah, he's unaffected during the casting with the Crimson Waltz. Yeah, but that might be situational. I don't know. One way or the other, I think he's fine the way where he is. So SVina, I lost to her to PvP 2 nights ago, and that's when I really looked into her kit. And I think people are respecting her a lot more because of PvP, the whatchamacalls, the honor duel. I hope they will never do server merger or cross server events. I hope so too. Yeah, so SVina's great because what she does is that she snipes the back unit. You can select who you place the dagger on, and then at the start of the battle she'll teleport over there and start attacking that unit until they die. And someone told me that at EX weapon level 10, oh sorry, didn't mean to go there, when the enemy dies she gets a buff. Oh, she gets like fear or something like that, where everyone runs to the back of the map. I think that's what it goes. And so that's a bit of crowd control too. And that's good because when everyone goes to the back, then your characters move forward, which means that she gets within range of the heals. So it's all synergistic, but it takes a bit of investment. Does anyone else have anything to add to SVina? Technically, if you're around AFK stage 700 or so, you're in the mid game now, yeah. There's a tier for endgame, no? Yeah, it's like Mythic Plus onwards, but I do talk about Supreme Plus a lot. Yeah, Mythic Plus, Rainier with 10 absolutely decimates. I'm at AFK stage 1100. Ooh, okay. Got it. So anyway, SVina's great for sniping away enemies, but she needs investment. You need her at least EX weapon 10 in order to apply the shields, and also when the marked enemy is defeated, she frightens the enemies within 2 tiles of the defeated enemy, and frightens makes them run to the back of the map. Yeah, so very good unit that I lost to one time. Okay, and then I think these guys are here to 0. A lot of it's because it's not that they're bad, it's just they're very vanilla. Like, they don't really have anything huge that really makes you want to bring them on a team. Well, actually, is Burial decent, or is he... Well, Okay, guys, is there anyone here in Hero to Zero that should be indecent? It's hard to tell about Burial because no one has him. I think one person on my server has him, and I need to talk to him about. Like, Atalanta Omega Waifu tier. True. True. She is. I actually love her kit. Her kit plus waifu material brings her up to decent. Leica, Rice maybe. Oh, Leica's actually should be up here too. True. Rice. Dude, I don't know anyone who plays Rice. Every day someone asks me about Rice and I can't say anything about him. I have to play him myself to know. Yeah. Same with Burial. Yeah, so Anatola, she is in decent tier because she is a light bearer marksman who is able to do a lot of utility. She can stun, she can push enemies away from her, she can, with her ultimate, let me read it. I lost PvP to her before.
Forget it. I'll get in.
Let me just go ahead and upgrade this. So her hero focus gives her haste, by the way, which allows her to get her ultimate up faster. I'm leveling it up right now. She gets 18 haste at level 3, gains an extra 6 haste after dealing damage to 3 different enemies within 3 seconds. Carolina is available by tickets? No, she's not. Oh, by tickets? What do you mean? With the arena points, no. Yeah, I don't think Rice is up here. His kit is really vanilla. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Gachonio, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. We're almost done with the tier list, guys. So Atalanta, why is she good? She's hot, she's waifu material. That's number 1, waifu over meta. Diamonds or tickets in the card store. No. You have to put her in the wish list. The only way to get her is putting her in the wish list. You can't buy her orbs. I think that's what you're asking. I don't even think she comes from a chest. Yeah, so, okay, her ultimate triggers Scorching Gift, which deals damage 3 times to an enemy. Okay, but that's not why she's good. The reason why she's good is because she can crack her whip, knocking enemies back 2 tiles, immobilizing them for 3 seconds. She does multi-target marksman damage. She gives haste to herself, but Mythic Plus is when she can do Sweet Encounter, which knocks enemies back with the whip. She can do it against 2 enemies on Mythic Plus, immobilizing them. Immobilized means they can't move or act. Carolina is not available in the PvP store, sadly, yeah. And then add Supreme Plus, recovers 10% max HP. Yeah, so the thing about Atalanta is, like, it's all about stunning the enemy and knocking them back. And her range is 4. I could have sworn she did, like, some physical defense shred, though. Oh, okay, yeah. But you have to get it to her weapon to like level 10, I think. At level 10, she steals 10% attack and physical defense from the target every time she hits her main target with Sweet Encounter. So she's a character you have to get heavily invested. If you run her heavily invested, we're talking EX weapon level 10, then she is a fantastic partner with Vaa, even more than Temesia, or about the same as Temesia, because Atalanta is then decreasing the attack percentage and the physical defense of multiple targets and knocking them back, which is nice. Immobilizing them too. Okay, so that was Atalanta. Leica, can you guys help me with Leica? Because I don't know why Leica is good. I'm working on her, but I don't know why Leica's good. Any Leica enjoyers who can chime in and give better advice than me? Why is Leica decent? Gives haste to the entire team. Holy, okay, I did not know that. Oh my god. Is it haste or attack speed? Increasing all allies' attack speed by 25. It triggers immediately at the start of battle and grants all allies 120 energy. Holy. Whoa, I did not know that. You know, it's too bad that she's physical, not magic. Leica's ultimate can be very powerful. It can really wreck an enemy team that's bunched together. Okay. I see. Oh, summons meteors, dealing X amount of damage, reducing their physical defense by 10% for 5 seconds. Yep, thank you, Roro Scream. We identified this at the same time. Wow. She can give herself attack speed, which is really good. Summons meteors at the start of battle, sends them to attack the targets while making normal attacks. Ooh. When Leica at Supreme Plus, when Leica hits a target with Comet Archery, she reduces the target's physical defense by 25% for 6 seconds. Holy. You could run a wilder Lightbearer team comp with like Leica, Vala, Temesia, Rowan, Atalanta, and maybe like Damian or something like that. He's a very effective tank killer. Yeah, also damage outright through shields and ignores them with level 3x weapon. Dang, you guys are smart. Yeah, that's right. The target will... So at level 10 or 15, the target will be stunned for 4 seconds if their shield is broken. Oh, I don't know what that means. She was used in AFK Arena a lot for a long time. Got it. Okay, so for that reason they are decent. And then Hero to Zero is more like... Yeah, they may be characters you might play in the start, with the exception of Burial. But then you wouldn't really keep them in the team. I'm going to be honest, it's more that they're not really... Okay, someone talked about this guy right here. Okay, let's go one by one so that, you know, I want to see someone build Seth. I feel like he's good. Okay. Guys, can someone tell me why Brian is good? Why is Brian good? I'm gonna pass the mic over to you guys. Why is he good? I just remembered that... Okay, you're back. Welcome back, Zane. He revives at Mythic Plus. Ooh, okay. Okay. Or something like that. He can actually counter rogues. Ooh, okay. Seth very often looks impressive but never built him. I think Seth is something like he KOs someone and then and then he teleports to someone else, right? That's what I saw in a battle drill. He like killed someone and then teleported. Or maybe his ult teleported him, I'm not sure. I was late because of power shortage, and while I was typing it, another power shortage happened. It's all good now. Oh, Monka, sorry. Sorry to hear you're going through that. Seth goes crazy when enemies drop low. Okay, got it. Brian survives a fatal strike with his level 2 EX. Okay. You have other characters to prioritize to get to the same stage where other characters are earlier. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay, does anyone have any comments of anyone in the Hero to Zero column? Sorry. Except my AFK Journey files are probably corrupted because I was mid-update. Ooh, I hope not. think it's probably accurate. Okay. Alright, so this is the definitive tier list. I'll go ahead and take a screenshot of this to add to... Let's go like that. Okay, so that wraps it up for this video. Anyone on YouTube, if you have a comment or a question or want team building suggestions for the people in this tier list, don't hesitate to drop a comment in the comment section below. Thank you, chat, for chiming in to help me explain why these units are in the tier list and for double checking my work. Nonas, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Zero to hero means weak early but strong late. No, it means... Oh yeah, true, yes. They're 0 until they get to Mythic Plus, and then they become... They go from normal to absolutely amazing on your team. Exactly. Yeah, for instance... Well... You like the tier list? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could have renamed the tiers a little bit. I mean, this was the tier list that someone in chat passed to me, and it was perfect. So, okay, actually, I should bookmark this. Bookmark this. Okay. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching on YouTube. Talk to you later.